First of all, I just want to say to all of the Galaxy fanboys who've been attacking me on various forums and Facebook posts and whatnot about being an Apple sheep and this, that, and the other. The mere fact of the matter is, if I've got $1,000 in my pocket and I want to hand it to something or somebody for whatever reason, you know, you're only upset about it because nobody gives a shit which Galaxy model you got in your pocket, whether it's the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. First of all, Samsung, you could tell that they're a bunch of rip-off copy-pasters up in North Korea simply because they raced to get to 8 so that they could be standing next to Apple and releasing their quote-unquote 8 before Apple released their 8. And then Apple said, fuck all that, we're going to have to go to X. So this way, when Samsung tries to release an X, it'll be that much more obvious that these losers over in Pyongyang are copying us while Kim Jong-il is he's fucking testing nuclear weapons, and they don't know what they're doing, so they watch Apple for every single step and move. If Apple even hints that they're going to have a feature, Samsung rushes to get that feature to market first. So that's the first thing. It's easy to trigger these Android phone boys, and the funnier part is there's a lot of losers who they want to be so different because they're little special snowflakes that instead of using Apple or Android, I've got a cyanogen, I've got a cyanogen. So they got some bullshit little plastic ass phone made by BLU that they got from Metro PCS or Boost Mobile for $50 a month, unlimited talk, text, and everything else, simply because their network sucks so bad that you gotta keep on going, can you hear me now, can you hear me now, can you hear me now? And they're standing in the back of Pathmark, and they should be able to be heard simply because they're next to a glass window. And the problem is that this signal sucks so fucking bad that absolutely nothing they say you can hear. Now, I like to criticize where criticism is due, so I don't mind insulting these Android fanbots who are holding on to their Galaxy S7s that nearly blew off their goddamn leg last year and wouldn't even allow them to get on an airplane because the shits were exploding, so they were treating you like you were a terrorist. They said, no, leave that piece of shit phone at home. You're not getting on this plane with that piece of garbage in your pocket that might blow up and threaten these little children who are trying to get on this Boeing A380. So anyway, triggering you guys is really easy because the first thing you want to do is say, oh yeah, well, Apple's had quality control problems too. Yeah, but they never had to recall an entire model because the shit was blowing off people's legs and exploding next to people's faces. So that's number one. And that's the only thing I got to say about that. But I like to give criticism where criticism is due. If you're going to criticize Apple, what you really should be criticizing them on is the fact that they only have a 64 gigabyte iPhone X and a 256 gigabyte iPhone X. All of these shitty fake news journalists on Yahoo, Facebook, CNN, all of these idiots, even in the Daily News today, there was a newspaper article, oh, would you pay $1,000 for an iPhone? Well, first of all, apparently they don't seem to understand that I already paid $1,000 twice in a row for the iPhone 6S Plus and the 7 Plus 256 gigabyte. But the real thing they should be criticizing Apple for is not having a 128 gigabyte and a 256 gigabyte as the only models of this phone. Obviously, something like this is going to use a lot of storage space for its videos because these are 4K videos. These things take up massive space. So 64 gigabytes makes no sense whatsoever. Why doesn't you idiot journalists, I don't know who gave you your little bullshit liberal arts degrees and those stupid schools you went to, and that's the reason why you're in $300,000 worth of student loan debt. But anyway, I don't know who gave you your degrees. The simple fact of the matter is the criticism you should be leveling is not because they're trying to sell a phone for $1,000. You should be leveling the criticism at them because they have only a 256, and that thing is not $1,000. That thing is $1,149. But see, if you knew anything about journalism, you'd have already been ahead of me. But you don't. So what I suggest you do is go back to school and get another couple of master's degrees like I did. So anyway, that's where the criticism should be. Thus far, the iPhone X and the Apple iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus. Let me tell you something right now. I bet you dollars to donuts, when they open up the pre-order for those phones, those things are going to sell out in less than 24 hours. The iPhone X may sell out in less than 3 or 4 hours. So I gotta wake up extra early and make sure I set my phone to alert me to the exact time that these bastards decide to allow me to pre-order the damn thing, just so I can have my credit card ready to read over the numbers to them before some other asshole from Dubai or Saudi Arabia or something like that, or China, just like you remember my video where I was online with a mob, a sea of Chinese, an army of Chinese people buying up all the goddamn iPhone 6 Pluses, and they were buying them all up, and they had their friends and family, and you didn't even know who was who, and they rushed the line. I have a video that you can look at my videos, and you can see that video. And I'm going to have to compete with all of these people on October 27th to buy the iPhone X. And the only criticism that you idiots, you morons, the only criticism you can come up with is that it's $1,000. No, morons. I'm going to have to spend $1,149 for it. $1,149. And I'll be lucky to jump on there and be able to buy that damn thing first, considering the mob of people that's going to try to be ahead of me. And if you're not on that phone exactly when they say, or not the phone, but if you're not ordering that thing exactly when they say it's time to order that thing, you ain't getting one, and you'll have to wait for AT&T to ship that shit to you, or T-Mobile to ship it to you through the FedEx or UPS or Amazon or whatever. And I don't feel like waiting. I want the thing on day one. They said it's November 3rd. I want it on November 3rd because that's how I roll. But as for your Samsungs and your Androids and your Cryanogens and whatever you call it, nobody wants any of that crap. You could go to Micro Center and you could buy a 6-inch phone from BLU for like $1.50. In fact, every single time I see an Android sale, it's like buy one phone and get 2 free. And you know why? The reason why is because Androids are for kids. You can talk about your, oh yeah, well I can replace my flash card. Yeah, well, guess what? Your flashcards go corrupt, and when you buy them on eBay, those Chinese-ass flashcards, they lie to you, and they say that this shit is 1 terabyte flashcard, and then you try to actually format the shit, and it says 32 megabytes, and then you look for the guy who sold it to you. You can't even find them no more because they're, like, long gone. Who you guys kidding? And then what bothers me anything with Samsung always copy-pasting Apple. When they tried to make it so that you couldn't remove the battery out of that Note and that S7, what happened? Shit started exploding off the back of the goddamn phone. Because you morons, you thought that, oh yeah, well I'll just plug it in and I can charge it because it has fast charging. Apple doesn't have fast charging. Yeah, look what happens when you fast charge it. You nearly blew up the goddamn airlines. It was like 9/11 out there because of people like you with those shitty ass phones. Who you think you are? Walker Lynn? You trying to light your shoe on fire? You got a cell phone in your shoe? Who do you think you're kidding? Stop with the nonsense. You can't fight Apple. They're way ahead of you. They got marketing that markets like you wouldn't believe. Just stop because you make yourselves out to look silly. So guess what? October 27th, have your money ready. iPhone X. As for Samsung, I have no idea what they're selling. I have no idea how much it costs. Guess what? Nothing they sell. Nothing they sell at all. Even their washing machines were exploding last year. You can look it up. Their fucking washing machine. How the fuck does a washing machine explode? I can understand if it was a dryer. How does a washing machine explode? That's some bullshit.